Topping today's news, the Free National Movement ratifies 8 additional candidates, including its party leader from Marco City. We hear from the Education Minister on the national exam results released Thursday. Is there a Haitian gang problem in the high schools? And land clearing for the new specialty hospital soon to get underway. This is your JCN Evening News. I'm Jcn Saunders. It's been a pleasure, and thank you for joining us. Free National Movement members and party supporters were in a festive mood on Thursday night as they gathered at the party's headquarters on Mackey Street, where they named another 8 candidates, 7 of them in addition to the party leader, Michael Pintard, making 8 that were ratified to carry the party's banner in the 2026 general elections. The newly named candidates include Heather McDonald for Angliston, Trevania Clark Hall for Seabreeze, Surford Roll for Tall Pines, Travis Robertson, Fort Charlotte, Donnelly Penn Mackey for Southern Shores, Lincoln Deal, Freetown, and Senator Michaela Barnett Ellis for Killarney. And of course, like we said, the leader, Michael Pintard, was also introduced as the incumbent for Marco City in Grand Bahama. In his address to the supporters and those watching on YouTube, Mr. Pintard said the party evaluated over 100 candidates, but chose candidates who want to work for the people.
And so today we are one step closer to choosing the full team that recognizes that they work for you. They work for the many, not just for the few. Our team already includes 9 women. We promise you that we would return to the tradition established under Hubert Ingram, where it was extremely important to have qualified, talented women around the table. It cannot be right that 51% of the population are women, and they are disproportionately underrepresented in the corridors of power. It was a promise we made, and it is a promise we will keep.
Mr. Pintard said the choices they made for candidates also represents a generational shift, including young leaders.
We promise that gradually there will be a generational shift, that we would select talented young men and women, and we would put them in a position that they could be successful. And so some may question why some went where they went. I'm here to tell you, we do not want to disadvantage the next generation. We want to give them a legitimate shot at being successful. And so tonight, teamwork is what's happening. We want the new, who are energized, filled with vision, alongside the veterans. It is important to have young and old lockstep together. It's important to have women and men similarly committed to your transformation together. We wanted leaders who are prepared to lead even when the cameras are not rolling, when the lights are off, during good times and bad times. That's what we did tonight.
Mr. Pintard said they regret the fact that they could not embrace all who wanted to carry the banner of the party, but reminded those who were not selected that there are many ways to serve the country other than being on the front line at this time. He then went on to accuse the Davis administration of misleading the public on a number of important economic and social indicators. The Free National Movement has now named 25 of the potential 39 candidates. There is a potential for the number of seats to increase once the Boundaries Commission releases its recommendations. Notable names not yet ratified for the F&M, that's the chairman for the party, Dr. Dwayne Sands, and the deputy leader, Shannon Cartwright, who is the incumbent for St. Barnabas. The Free National Movement last night, again, unveiling 8 more candidates at the party's headquarters, and among them, businessman Lincoln Deal, who will now contest the Freetown constituency after previously campaigning in Killarney. Mr. Deal said that while he first started campaigning in Killarney, his focus has always been on service across the country, and his plans for Killarney will also work for Freetown.
I started this journey in Killarney. I've served there, but I've been serving in communities throughout the Bahamas. For me, service goes beyond the constituency. It's about serving the people, their needs. Whether you live in the east, the west, or in the islands, our concerns are still the same. We want good representation, and we want to build better communities. And you can do that wherever you are planted.
Trevania Clark Hall is ready to bring new energy to the Seabreeze constituency. A longtime resident with 25 years in the community, Clark Hall says her deep roots give her a unique perspective on the needs of the people she hopes to represent.
I want to tackle the youth, I want to tackle the elderly, and I want to implement programs for both of them. Half of the population in Seabreeze is seniors, and they need something to do. So I have substantial plans for them. Other than things, I have plans for Seabreeze.
The newly ratified candidates are expected to ramp up their campaigns even more now that they have been officially backed by the party. In fact, this evening, the Free National Movement was expected to blitz the Killarney constituency in support of Senator Michael Barnett Ellis, who will face opponents like Dr. Veronica McIver from the Coalition of Independents, the PLP candidate who is yet to be named, and the incumbent, Dr. Hubert Minnis, who may run as an independent. Barnett Ellis said last night that she plans to have a conversation with Dr. Minnis in the hopes of gaining his support in Killarney. After a slight improvement in 2024, students, teachers, and parents alike awaited patiently for the results of the 2025 BGCSE and BJC national exams. The Ministry of Education finally released those results on Thursday. In this next report by Ariana Neely, we hear what the Education Minister had to say about those results.
During a press conference to reveal the 2025 BGCSE and BJC national exam results, the Minister of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, Dr. Glenys Hanna-Martin, said that the country's school system is on a path to recovery. This is following the setbacks caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Mrs. Hanna-Martin acknowledged the exam results show areas still needing improvement, but also demonstrate the resilience of Bahamian students.
I just wanted to say a couple of things. And to say that what we heard, what is in fact a snapshot of performance, and clearly we learned from these results there are still areas that we have to work on in this in our student population, and the ministry is tracking, monitoring, and analyzing these national results, and we're also looking at global trends in similar exams. And we see some parallels. We know the pandemic had an impact. Students were locked out of face-to-face instruction for 2 years. The research globally shows learning loss. But what we are seeing in these results is resiliency, because our children are showing up, they're taking the examinations. And we are on the route to recovery. We're confident of this.
Hanna-Martin pointed to new initiatives that are expected to strengthen learning outcomes, with literacy and numeracy receiving particular attention. She also noted that the curriculum changes are already underway.
We put a focus on literacy and numeracy. Literacy and numeracy. We have completed a math study, which has helped us to understand what alignments we have to do with our curriculum, with our materials, with the instruction. So we are now armed with empirical advice based on empirical evidence on what we need to do in terms of mathematics. We've revised the curricula. We have the first time in history for the first time in 40 years. Geography is being revised. We're putting a stronger focus on science.
Hanna-Martin said that the road ahead requires focus, but the government remains determined to create an education system that delivers for every Bahamian child. For the 2025 exams, the BJC and BGCSE results showed little change from last year, with just under 39% of junior students and 37% of senior students earning 5 subjects at grade C or above, almost the same as in 2024. Female students continue to outpace male students overall at both levels, scoring more A to C grades, while male candidates were more likely to fall into lower marks. For Jcn News, this is Ariana Neely.
Thanks for that report, Ariana. Finally, in this segment, as public school students prepare to return to school on Monday, there remains concerns about security on the school campuses. While on the Love 97's talk show, Issues of the Day with host Christian Jones, the Minister of National Security, Wayne Munro, was asked a number of questions by callers. One of them was the allegation of the existence of Haitian gangs in the high schools, claiming sections of the campus as their own. Munro responded like this.
Well, I don't know about any Haitian gangs. I know about gangs that try to recruit in our schools. And remember now that this administration put police back into the schools.
Right.
And not only were the police put into the schools, then they were trained to be proper school resource officers. And every school, yet a number of school resource officers are increased. That is an effort led by Assistant Commissioner of Police Charles Hannah. And he makes sure that they keep being trained, and he identifies policemen who have the right attitude to not only be police, but you have to be counselor, and you have to make the young people trust you so that you can get information on what is happening. So the police are actually in the schools.
Although there are still some challenges, the Ministry of Education reported a decrease in school violence last year. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back following these commercials.